Let's take a look at a few more examples to get literally a better feeling for that. Because again, it's very important to understand the internal play first, and then we combine it obviously with the bigger aspect, as Alex did very good. And again, it just makes more and more sense. And first we introduce or complete the daily cycle, and then we combine everything. Same thing in here. What are we doing? Right, of course, we identify the liquidity. Now we're breaking out of Asia range to the low side. This case, we had a smart money already here in Asia. So the smart money trap is already completed with this false mitigation in here. Gives a false reaction. What does it do in the process? Of course, creates equal lows on also an Asia low. So the only thing next in line is the inducement of this point in here. What comes after? The mitigation, and this time in the lower time frames. In the 1 minute, there would be an imbalance in here. Then we just look at the clock again. Timing confirms the overall play. And there we go. Then obviously you can expect something like that on the intraday aspect of it. But you see how we're slowly combining it over and over and over again. It's literally the same stuff over and over again. So let's take a look at another one. Same thing in here. See, smart money trap, they did in Asia as well. We identify the liquidity, internal liquidity, this structure point in here. But where's the real liquidity? Of course, it's external of a different day, which is above these areas, right? So now we see this is the extreme of the push that led to the whole pullback. Now we're having our smart money trap. It's literally exactly the same as we had in the earlier example. First, what they're doing in here. Okay, they induce kind of Asia range on the top side. That's why the whole push to the downside happens first. But guess what? They never grab this liquidity areas in here. Right, so of course the liquidity is still above these areas. Now finally we have an inducement to the left. We never had that in these areas and never induced anything to here. Right, so now we're having an inducement to the left structure. Below that, of course, there's your real mitigation area with the imbalance in here. What do they do? Price comes, mitigates that. When do they do it? Perfect London. And of course, what can we expect after? Very easy at this point, isn't it? A tube in here. And that's, of course, like some sort of Mona Lisa trades. Of course, that don't happen every day as you wished it would be. But of course, we need to focus on those to get literally 1 to 10s on a daily basis. Because again, of course, we showed it later, literally on every time or pretty much on every pair, something like that happens every day. And we just need to identify it properly, combine it with the structure properly, and put everything step after step together. Okay, look at another one. Right, same stuff all over and over again. This time Asia high, never been induced, inducing low with what? With the whole channel building. This time no smart money trap, but guess what? And for fuck's sakes, it's literally the same thing as we discovered earlier, right? And of course, this demands areas in here would be the next point of interest. Kind of see the hardware of the wick in here, right? But guess what? This now leads to the whole break of structure. We never had like an inducement to the left yet. So what was going to happen? They come back to these areas later, right? Of course, and then mitigate and then shoot out of them. Look at that. Insane. But for more about this one, of course, exactly later, more about that. Just another one because it's so rare that it happens, right? So what do they do in here? Even more obvious. Of course, seeing the whole channel of Asia trending downwards, giving this false channel builds up in here, even creating equal lows once more in here, giving the false break of structures in these areas, to faking obviously the false support, whatever, right? What's the next thing in line we need? Smart money trap, or in this case, again, it becomes of a fuck's sake, just shoot straight through it. And again, then you look for the next mitigation area, in this sense, again, on the 1 minute. Then again, next thing you do, look at the clock. Didn't mark it up here, but you already can see it's in London area. Perfect timing again, over and over again, same stuff. And what do we expect? Of course, here's the tube. And again, what do they do here? Faking the Asia high mitigation. Smart money trap gives the false reaction. And of course, breaks later with that inducement in here. Repetition. Always the same intraday approaches. Okay. Another one, a little bit more advanced one. So what do you do here? Same thing. What do they do? Trading whole Asia range buy side liquidity. Before they move perfectly higher, they induce low first, right? Faking the breakout structure in Asia, never broke out yet. There we have it. Our minor inducement never induced something to the left. There's no structure inducement to the left. So what do we need instead? Of course, we expect the first smart money trap, inducing these highs after, and then mitigating properly. When do they do it? Also, time can be a little bit off sometimes. Of course, it doesn't need to be always perfectly London open. If something like that happens, not a problem. What have you learned so far? You use what you learned. There you go. There's your internal breakout structure this time. Confirmed with the final inducement of the smart money trap and the mitigation. Internal breakout structure. You're finding your mitigation area with the imbalance. Gets the mitigation here. Right? What is coming after? Of course, now this more main breakout structures in here. Price comes back, mitigates this imbalance areas. This, by the way, is also an EDM trade later on for us. And what can we expect after? Of course, something like this. Slowly but surely combining all the little steps and putting it together. Same thing in here. Of course, this thing becomes a smart money trap. Will never be in point of interest. Why is it smart money trap, not of FFS? If you look at this little candle in here, it first gives a huge reaction in this candle. And then, of course, then it shoots. So it's technically given a reaction first.